Let's bring our next guest on. He's brought to you by the folks at Renthal. This gentleman has probably used Renthal a time or two in his career, but he is coming off his first podium of the year in Glendale at the Triple Crown. Rode very, very well to do it. Rockstar Energy, Husqvarna's Malcolm Stewart. What's up, man? How are you?
Hey, what's up, boys? How y'all doing?
We're good. Thanks for coming on. Zacho wants to apologize for the Indianapolis hit. What year was that, Zacho?
What? I didn't say I want to apologize. I fell.
But you hit him really hard, you said.
Yeah, it was a mistake because Vince was on the outside.
Okay, but I just want to square up that you guys are good now.
We're good. We were teammates.
I think I hit him
like 5 seconds.
at the time.
He turned down, and I was coming up, and it was just.
Okay, all right.
I think I banged him into Vince and kept. They kept going, and I was laying the turn.
Vince is back in the news again. Thanks for coming on, Malcolm. Appreciate it. Congrats, man. Nice job. Got on the box. Rode really well in all three of them. Do you like Triple Crowns?
No, I'm not a fan of them at all. I can vouch for probably about 80% of all the riders.
I know. Zacho was just saying, I hate them as a rider. I love them as a fan.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, in certain circumstances, like Mosman or Craig over the past weekend, like that bailed them out of a lot of trouble. But I also feel like it can also put you in a lot of trouble too. You know what I mean? It's more risk.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I'm like I said, I've never been a big fan of it. Of course, like in stadiums like Phoenix is great, and if it's going to be a Triple Crown because it's a longer track and stuff. But
I think it's the worst possible venue for it.
Yeah, Zach disagrees with you.
Well, I mean, you go to Dallas is not
way
as
better.
It's short. Okay, how?
Well, Phoenix is just more dangerous.
How?
Glendale. It just gets so slick and so hard packed.
Yeah. Slick and hard pack.
And Dallas is not hard pack?
No, it's like red clay.
Wow, it's not as hard pack as it used to be.
It's like, look at the last one. The one when Coop wrecked, it was ruddy as crap.
Yeah. Well, it depends on what time of year, I guess.
I guess it depends on what kind of dirt you like.
I was going to say it all depends on what time of year and stuff.
Yeah,
but, no, I mean, only reason I would say the reason why Phoenix was okay is just because the lap times was longer. So it wasn't that overall the track wasn't getting beat up as bad as opposed as if you went to a smaller stadium, because that's just more laps go around and around. So
right.
No matter how you look at it, it's minutes. No, so but yeah, to answer your question, no, I'm not stoked on it at all.
No, I got that. I love them, but I'm sitting in a press box, so you know what I mean. Like, yeah. I know you guys got to do more starts, and like you said, the track gets broken down and all of that stuff. But yeah, I'm on board. But I wouldn't want 17 of them. No way. You know what I mean? Would not want 17. Is that
no? The risk would be way too high for sure.
Right.
And I'm not gonna lie, it beats you up. I mean, I to oppose is, doing a heat race in the main event. Like you wake up Sunday morning from a Triple Crown, you're hurting.
Yeah.
Like I was hurting yesterday.
The what is it? 45 minutes before, like 45 minutes in between. Of a break.
But it's really not even that, because the fans don't understand. We got to load the gate up, so it's half of that.
Yeah.
So but you literally get back, you put your bike on the stand, and you walk inside, and you do what you need to do, eat, obviously. So it's very small rest periods at a time. So I think the hardest thing is because you sit for a while after practice. At least a solid 3 hours, because obviously Triple Crowns they adjust the schedule, and then you're wide open. So I think that's the hardest part. You sit and then you're wide open.
18 points out of the lead after 5 rounds. Are you happy where you're at as far as the season?
Yeah, actually, I feel that the season for me so far, the last few rounds has been really good for me. I know I was getting 5th for a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm like, we gotta turn this around or something. But it could be, it could be worse, could be better. But I think overall, I feel that I've gotten the motorcycle and myself in a better position. So for me to end up on the box last weekend was a definitely big confidence booster for myself, and I think as well as just understanding how the team works and things like that. Again, this is a big change for me, a whole dynamic and everything. So this is, if anything, every time I got we did a gate drop, I just felt like it was me learning the motorcycle under race conditions.
I wrote about you last week in my column, and I said, it wasn't that long ago that we were like, hey, Mookie only has one top 5 to his name. You know what I mean? And this, and then you got on the box, and then you kind of got another top 5, and then now like 5th is like your worst. You know what I mean? Like you've turned the game around. Where 5th, you're saying, I got 5th again. Well, it wasn't that long ago that you hadn't had too many top 5s. So that's where I feel like you're at. You're just rising. You know what I mean? You're just going up.
Yeah. Yeah, no, absolutely. It's so funny. I was sitting up on the jumbo. I saw on the jumbotron. I had like the RMC fantasy thing, and it had me like sitting in like for the first weekend. It actually had me sitting in 5th.
Yeah.
But the last couple weekends, they had me like 9th or 10th, and I'm like, But then I was like, it had me in 5th, and I started laughing. I'm like, I'm not getting 5th again tonight.
Yeah.
It ain't happening 4 times in a row. So.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, at the end of the day, I felt like the start really that really determines how racing is right now. The starts is almost everything. So you start up there. I feel like if you got your ducks in a row, you'll be able to finish up there.
Zacho, do you think there's any setting from your Rockstar Husqvarna days that would work for Malcolm? Any setting at all? Suspension, bars, subframe, any setting that Malcolm would run?
No.
Nothing.
I don't think so.
Nothing at all.
I think the plastic. This is plastic.
Yeah, plastic.
That's the only thing.
Yeah, that's about it, right? Malcolm Stewart here, brought to you by folks at Renthal, of course. Yeah, man, it's been a good start for your season for sure. But I'm going to tread carefully here, Mookie. But it's a brand new bike. I don't think you've been that happy with testing on the bike. Like I know you guys made some improvements and you were happier. But is it fair to say the bike isn't exactly where you want it, even maybe 5 rounds in?
I mean, I feel like it's just learning. Honestly, I feel it's learning it. I wouldn't say it's not to the tip-top shape of where I would like it to be, but I don't feel like I'm very off of where it should be.
Okay. Yeah.
I felt like going up to Phoenix, we made a massive, big changes, and I felt like that I started seeing some progress. We were kind of chasing our tail a little bit on. Leading A1, and obviously the last couple of rounds. But then I felt like I was like, what, we need to go back to the drawing board after A2, and we made some big changes. And I feel like this is the right direction. But as a racer, man, like you don't really know how good your motorcycle could possibly be until you actually race it.
Right.
The practice tracks can only do so much. But again, I felt like this is only a build, and that's kind of what the team broke it down to. They're like, hey man, like this is a new motorcycle for all of us, so you're gonna have to just race through it and give us feedback every race, and I feel like we're slowly getting it better and better and better. So again, I know it seems like every weekend you're like, we only got 5th, but I felt like me getting 5th was helping me out. You know what I mean? Like me doing all the racing was only helping me out to get myself in a better direction without losing a crazy amount of points, So I felt like this is slowly starting to be a big turnaround, and I feel like the bike is gonna work even better once we go East Coast.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
So I do truly feel like the motorcycle will really work even better once we start heading east.
Zach, that's what Zach said about Coop. When I was asking about Coop and maybe, some of the bike stuff and, he's almost a race back and all this kind of stuff. And, Zacho, you said East Coast.
I think that these East Coast guys are just more comfortable East Coast, so I think it helps them out a lot with that stuff. And especially in Mookie's case, like that'll be, another 2, 3, 4 races down the road by the time we get to the middle of East Coast, and that's big.
Right.
There's no replacement for race laps.
Okay.
At all.
Yeah, absolutely. You're right about that. I'm gonna tread carefully here too, Malcolm. Again, I don't want to get I'm such a dick for asking this, but I really want to ask Malcolm this. I really want to ask him.
I don't know
this.
what you're gonna ask, but you are. Dude.
Okay, whoop speed. We've had some gnarly ones, and you're very good in the whoops. I'm not trying to say you're not good in the whoops at all. You're very good in the whoops. I don't feel like you're just crushing them like maybe we saw in the past as fast. Like sometimes you would pass 2 or 3 dudes on them. It was just insane. Now, I understand there's a fine line between going too fast and crashing and all that. But I wonder, is it a steel frame thing or Husqvarna thing where First of all, do you think you can get better in the whoops, Malcolm? I guess let's start with that. Do you feel like I'm on the right path in thinking this?
Yeah, I'm definitely on the right path of getting better in the whoops.
Okay.
I mean, it's clear as day. I mean, I'm definitely not as strong as what I've been.
Yes.
But again, it's. I think it has a lot to do with the setup. You know.
Okay. Yeah. So not a steel frame thing. Yeah.
No. I think it's pros and cons more. Like I felt like the last couple years I was struggling in the turns and things like that, where I feel that I'm actually better in the corners. I'm just haven't got my setup yet to get as comfortable through the whoops.
Okay.
So
Yep.
again, it's a catch-22. So I felt like this last week, leading into Phoenix, we made a lot of big changes, and I started to feel more comfortable going in the whoops.
Right.
So. Again, I just started making some big changes for myself, so I feel that we're in the right direction. But also, too, Steve, you got to think about we did a lot of our testing, and I remember when I say that I feel like it'd be back east. We did a lot of our setups and stuff back east on that better dirt. So when we came out here, it was like a switch change. So I feel like that's probably half of the reason why our setups aren't as good. So again, we have an East Coast setup more than we did on the West Coast.
Yeah, and having said that, you're still in the upper 10% of riders in the whoops. It's not like you're, struggling to get through these things. It's just
that you're normally the guy.
You're normally the guy.
Yeah,
that's all.
And I'm not gonna lie, dude. The whoops been kind of like they've been built weird this year.
Okay.
More so different than last year, but
right.
Again, that's racing. So we just, as long as we keep putting ourselves in a better position and learning it, we'll be all right.
How's the Alden Baker program treating you? How's that going? Talk about that a little bit. I don't think we've had you on since you've been in the grind. How's that?
Oh, it's been going good.
Yeah.
Alden's obviously really good to work with. I think it's better for me because it was a change. It was an overall package. So I didn't leave anything, on the table. I want to bring anything with me. It was just more like, hey, new team, new environment, and let's, keep moving forward. So, so far, like I said, everybody working with Alden's been good. The whole vibe around working with Plessinger and even having AP, like I said, AP, RJ, Jalik, and all the rest of the group, Dino as well. I feel like everybody's happy and excited. So it's always good to be around people that are, want the same things you do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely, right? You got a good point there. And also, too, I like the fact that you're settled in there for another year. You signed a 2-year deal. I thought that you were switching bikes and teams too many times, and just when you started to get used to stuff, you had to jump on something. Like you've started so well on the Husqvarna that, we know you're going to be there next year. That's got to be a sense of peace for you, too, that you know what's going on going forward.
Oh, yeah. No, that definitely helps out. And I mean, like I said, you know how it is, like stress contract year, that's always in the back of your mind. So the fact that I know that there's obviously a 2-year deal that I locked myself, and it's more of like you earned it as well,
Right.
So all I can do is just take everything race by race and just go out there and do the best I can, and
right.
Before I mean, I blinked and I didn't even realize that was February. I mean, once you get locked in, honestly, I feel like this season's gone by so fast. So, I mean, not like it's already gone, but it's just, week after week, so different compared to what it was last year.
Right. Yeah, that's true. It was so weird last year.
Exactly.
So a couple things for you, whether it was, Marvin on you or the Anderson Barsha thing, Freeze, does it seem – it's like every week, Malcolm, we have us in the media have something to talk about and something to debate.
What was that season recap you read?
What season?
Was that yesterday?
Oh, yeah.
It was like 6 incidents or whatever, 5 incidents.
Does it seem a little ramped up to you, Malcolm, on the aggression level from everybody?
I'm not going to lie, it's been pretty interesting.
Right.
Especially, like, there's things happening all the way around the racetrack. Honest, I mean, I ain't gonna lie. Like, I mean, it's somebody always sawing somebody's front wheel off. So, this season has definitely been. I don't know if people are fired up or or what, but it's
right.
Somebody's coming for you.
Yeah, something.
I ain't gonna lie. Like, it's weird.
Right.
Yeah, it's definitely. No, it's always in the back of my mind. Like, the dude that you could be literally like cooling with, he like may try to kill you in the next turn. So. Yeah, it's definitely been a lot of incidents. I mean, usually that's something that you would normally see in the LCQ, but we're talking about like 5 laps in the main event. Like, you know what I mean? Like, this is like, you got literally 15 more minutes of racing left, and you're already sawing this guy's front wheel off. So, I don't know. It's definitely interesting, but I think it makes good racing for the fans,
right?
But it just makes it more heated in the pits.
When you have an incident like you did with Marvin, and I thought you handled it pretty well. Like, I mean, you're like, dude, it's why are you doing it this early? And we both we were moving forward. All of your points to Marv were well thought out, and you didn't want to just beat the shit out of him. You know what I mean? Like, it was like you wanted to have a conversation with him, and
Maybe
I liked
he
it.
Wanted to.
What?
Maybe he wanted to.
Maybe he did want to. I don't think so.
I'm just kidding.
When you do something like that, Mookie, and you're in the heat of the moment, and you're pissed, and understandable. Do you look back at them and be like, "Oh, I should have walked over to him in the pits," or are you, do you afterwards? Do you think, "Oh, like that was a bad decision to do it right there on the stadium floor," and then everybody starts drama and all of this kind of stuff going on, or are you just fine with like what happened has happened?
I mean, honestly, of course you want to take it back to the pit, but first instinct is usually the wrong one. But I felt like what I said to him was as a point for the better for both of us.
Yeah.
But I mean, to be honest, I didn't even know there was a camera around. I was so locked in the moment.
Probably didn't care if there was, honestly.
I mean, if there was a camera there or not, I was gonna say what I needed to say, but I wasn't making any valid point. Like, I wasn't making anything bad. Like, I wasn't saying anything bad. I was just like, hey, let's just try to move forward. But we actually spoke Tuesday morning after that, and just discussed it and left it as that.
Right.
So, there's no bad blood between me or any other rider. But again, like, you know how it is. Like, you want it. Like, again, your first instinct is usually the wrong one. So I ain't gonna lie, I got chewed out. I should have never did what I did, because it definitely makes it way more. It makes it seem more worse than what it was, but. I mean, it is. No, it gave people to talk about something, I guess.
Yeah, it does. and I liked what you were saying. You weren't just like, hey, man, get off your bike, I'm going to kick your ass. You weren't saying that. You were trying to explain why you were upset. You know what I mean? Like, hey, you passed me, cool. Pass me and let me, let's go forward, right? Like I liked your reasoning behind it. It wasn't like it wasn't like you were trying to lose your mind. You were trying to explain.
Yeah.
Zach, have you ever had a moment like that where you were like, oh, I shouldn't have done that?
Where I shouldn't have done that?
Yeah, like, or you know what I mean, like off the track or yelling at somebody, or like
the only time I've ever yelled at someone was I don't remember where we were, but Barsha did something stupid in practice.
Okay.
And I
That's odd.
No, I love racing Barsha.
Right.
Like, because of what Mookie said a minute ago, it's like some guy you think is your friend is going to saw your front wheel off.
Yeah.
With Barsha, it's just 100%. You know what's going to happen. Don't trust him,
Right.
And I'm good with that. Like, that's totally fine.
Right.
But he did something dumb in practice, and we were like going through the tunnel, and I was like, look, dude, don't do that, because I'm good at that game, and I'm crazier than you are. And we never had any issues after that. Like, and we're totally cordial.
Right.
But I mean, I think that you media people try to like beef up these dramas. Like, there's some, there's always some. Something
that's why
brewing.
That's normally why I get.
But there's really not that much. Like, right. I'm pretty content to just leave it at the track.
I'm the guy saying, like,
and I never really got dirtied that much.
Yeah, I think the fans, we on social media and everything else, and I'm sure you've seen it, Malcolm. With everything that was going on with you a little bit, and Marv. Like, to me, I've been in the pits for 25 years. I've seen plenty of shouting matches after races. I was a mechanic for 12 of them. You know what I mean? I've seen plenty of shouting matches, and I like the physicality in Supercross. I like all of that. That's how it goes. Not T-bones and not sawing front ends off, but contact. But now in 2022, Malcolm, something happens like with Vince and Craig, and I think that's brutal. Don't get me wrong, but you have fans saying he should get a 5-race suspension, and I'm like, you got to kill a man to get 5-race suspension. Like, in my eyes, you know what I mean? Like, fans are a little out of hand, I feel.
Well, they want action, and then they get action, and then they don't want action.
Yeah.
It's like, what do you do?
Right.
You crucify a guy like Dunge every weekend for not making an aggressive pass,
right.
And then obviously the other end of the spectrum is Vince doing this pass this weekend,
right? And
they hate that too. So like, you're always gonna have somebody mad.
I just feel like when you talk about drama, I feel like our fans and this is 2022.
Yeah.
In general,
in our world,
fans I love that stuff, and they want drastic actions by all these guys.
Yeah.
So
they want retaliation and drama.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, I ain't gonna lie. It's for 2022 racing, there's been some heaters. I mean, already. So we're only what 6 rounds in now. So 5-6 rounds.
5 rounds.
So yeah. So again, I try to stay out of it, but there's no promises. So well, I guess I kicked mine off right off the rip.
Yeah. Good point. Yeah, good point.
Got that out of the way.
Hey, you got Jalik over there. You got Dino over there. Good thing you got rid of Osborne. He'd probably drag the whole team down. But what's the atmosphere like for you? And you've been with a lot of teammates. You've been on a few teams here. What do you think of the atmosphere around the team and working with the guys and Dino and Jalik and Styles and on the other side, on the other coast and all that, and RJ? So what's it like?
It's actually really good. Dino, I was former teammate back in amateur days with him, so I already have a little bit of a relationship with him. Yeah. And then Jalik, I literally watch him grow up in amateur as well as him and Styles. So again, I'll always see those guys growing up. So it's always, for me, I feel like it's cool just to watch. It actually kind of makes you feel old, to be honest. Now I literally felt Jalik. I mean, I literally remember Jalik on Pee Wees. Yeah. And now he's in a pro class. I was like, dang man, I'm getting old. So,
wait till you're 32. I don't remember Jalik racing Pee Wees, which means I was already a pro.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but no, everybody's cool. It's so far. Like I said, I love about being on the team that everybody's really chilled. Yeah. It's not saying like no pressure, but obviously the guys put the effort in. They all want to win, but just like there's different vibes over here, and that I feel like it suits me better than some of the teams I've been on in the past.
Right. Nate Dogg is the new team manager over there, and I mean you're young enough where even when you were riding with Dino at the Extreme team and James was around, I don't know if you ran into Nate or knew him at all, but how's that going? And he's a great racer in his day and everything. How's Nate Dogg?
Nate's good. I remember. I'm not sure if you guys remember, but Nate used to be the team manager at JDR.
Wow! Yeah.
God,
yeah.
You suck at reporting, dude.
So I already got for 2 years I was already Nate was my team manager. To me it was like, oh hey, what's up? What do you got to do? So so we already kicked off things in the past already, and then so when he called me and told me he got the opportunity, I was like sick, like team manager again. So right. It didn't feel like anything was weird.
Right. Oh, that's good. Before we let you go here, Renthal bringing you Malcolm Stewart on the show. I don't normally like asking you about James because you're your own guy and you can deal with it enough. But I just want to say we had James on the show a month and a half ago. He's got a podcast. James is back. He seems happier. He told us on the show, like at one time I was not happy and I didn't like the sport. And I just want to say, Mookie, it's great to have James back around. It seems like he's in a much better place.
Yeah, no, he seems like he's doing well.
Does he ever come out to the track and give Alden any stick? I would love that. That would be funny.
No, he hasn't. He said he's going to come out one of these days. So, like I said, he's been doing his own deal. I'm sure I'll see him when I get back east and go from there.
Yeah, I just like having him back around. That's all. He seems like he's happy. He seems happier.
He belongs in the sport,
Yeah.
Yeah. No, you always got to have people like that.
He's an icon,
no matter what.
So I was thinking, Alden is a bit, and I've told Alden this to his face, I don't believe in Alden's controlled thing about you can't ride anywhere else. You have to ride at my place every single day.
He's loosened up on that.
Oh, he has?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
Not so much for Supercross, but we rode lots of places outdoors.
But if it's not raining, you can ride elsewhere?
Yeah.
Oh.
Sometimes, like for certain races, we would go to there's a place called Spider, which is a little harder, a little rocky. We go there for Unadilla.
All right.
Outdoor Supercross, we're just
okay. Here's my point, though. I don't like that, and I think you guys get in a rut. You learn the track really well. It's great to go and practice somewhere else, fresh. All that stuff. I've told Alden this. He doesn't agree with me. Whatever. Okay, fine. My point is Malcolm, can you get over to the compound and ride over there? Can we do that?
He came over in the summer and rode outdoors with us. So
I mean you and the Alden guys go to your compound and go.
That's what he's saying. Over the summer when he was riding the bike during the
I'm
summer.
sorry. I thought you were talking about James for a second. Okay, so yeah.
No. I mean, to be quite fair, Alden has 3, Supercross tracks. So, I mean, I feel like going to somewhere else to ride is not saying you're already riding. You're riding. I mean, it switches every week, so I feel like it's always a little different anyway.
Okay.
So
all right.
by the time you realize it, what's happening now, if we all as a group, I mean, he's definitely open with everything. If we all as a group said, "Hey, we want to go ride at my house for the week," like then the guys are all prepared for it to go over there. So, but I also haven't had to ask. I mean, it's like kind of coming out here to California and you got to ride the 2 test tracks. Like,
yeah.
I mean, you can go to any other track, but it may not be as prepped as good. You know what I mean, or whatever the case may be. So, I mean, usually it's no different when I was at the compound riding 2 Supercross tracks like all year long. It is what it is, you know.
I just think
you're controlling. That's what it basically. You just think it's controlling.
Well, I just think that just freshening things up and going to ride at the compound. But I didn't realize he had three tracks to ride, so that's a little different, right? 3 different Supercross tracks. But
I mean, it's 3 Supercross tracks and 2 outdoors. So
yeah.
I mean, if you really break it down, like you're riding one every.
You are,
every week, you know. So it's So by the time you get back on that one, like I mean, I like what road and boot camp season started in November. So I mean, I only rode like this a couple of Supercross tracks like, every 3 weeks. So I didn't even really ride it that much.
So with you going over there, what the hell has your dad been doing? What does he do? Because there's nobody riding, there's no tracks to work on. Like, what's your dad doing?
Dude, he comes out to the track.
Oh, he does? Oh, okay, I didn't know that. Okay, all right.
Yeah, no, he comes out to the track. Obviously on the way. I mean, you guys probably don't know, but 33, of course Zach would know, but there's always, he calls them diamonds in the rough. There's always like some type of, somebody selling something or, whatever the case may be.
Diamonds in the rough.
It's literally diamonds in the rough.
He's just trying to find something,
Yes, and Webster's not too far away from Alden's place, so he does his own little round.
Okay.
So, I guess this is a way for him to get out of the house and go pick up more things that he doesn't need.
Fantastic. I'm glad he's keeping busy. I was worried about that, so that's covered.
Oh, no, he's keeping himself real busy.
Okay, I didn't know if it was like, hey, he's not doing Alden's, and now he's watering the track at the compound for nobody. He's just used to going out and watering it or whatever, so...
No, he's at the track. He's definitely at the track.
Well, hey man, thanks for coming on. I appreciate it. Congrats on the second place in Glendale, and basically top 5 every single race. You've been a factor, and get one of these wins. I think it's coming. So that'll be awesome.
It's definitely coming.
Yep.
Yeah. No, it's definitely coming. Just got to keep trucking along and keep putting myself in a good position, like last week, and it'll be there.
Awesome. Thanks for the time, Malcolm. Appreciate it, man.
All right, appreciate it, boys. Thank you.
See ya. That's Malcolm Stewart, everybody. Brought to you by the folks at Renthal, renthal.com. Please check them out if you need some bars, sprockets, chains,